discuss crisis communication, but I'm really going to zero in on some things as what you need to do in a crisis. I think it applies to all our fields, my field, your field. I'll try to tie it in as I'm going. This is my bio, but I want to tell you two things that is not on there. The first one is periodically people come up and they comment to me. They say, Chief, you got so gray. You look so gray now. You didn't have any gray hair 6 years. And I'm always like, oh, this job is tough, you know. But really the reason I'm gray is I have a teenage daughter, okay? The second thing I love to do is I love to read body language. Okay, I'm a police officer. I love to read body language. And there is nothing better than reading the boyfriend that comes to pick my daughter up body language. It is great. I love it. Okay, so why can I talk to you about crisis communication, crisis leadership? Kind of like that State Farm commercial. I've seen a thing or two, unfortunately. And it's 7 minutes, so I just made it a picture display. Or, yeah, I want credit for that. So that's why I can talk to you about crisis communication. We use this acronym. It's called TRUST. We'll go through each one of those letters, and I'll break it down, what that means to us. And I'll try to tie it into your field as well, because we're all peers here. We all have dealt with a crisis, or will deal with a crisis. So that's what I want the takeaway to be from all this. The first one is the truth. You could be dealing with the biggest crisis facing this country, facing this city, facing your company, facing all the shareholders, facing all your employees. If you tell a lie one time, or you omit a certain fact, you lied by omission, your credibility is shot. It's done. It's over. You will never, ever be talked about in a good light again, because they might talk about that incident, but there'll always be that little asterisk. Caught him in that lie, though. So it's always the truth. So whenever we do something, we won't say it unless we know it to be a fact. The second one is you got to research it. You have to know what is the genesis of that problem. Why did that problem blossom and mushroom and grow? What are your solutions to address it? Short term, long term, maybe it's an employee issue, maybe it's a structure issue, maybe it's a policy issue. Something caused a crisis. Before you talk about it in crisis communication, you better have all your research done completely. You better know that subject better than anybody. I know that when we talk, something big happens, and we have to come out and do a press conference or something, trust us. We've been up for 24 hours. We know that thing so well that there's hardly any question that we can't answer at that point. Trying to avoid that for about 2 years if we can. You got to understand your audience. So I understand my audience here, my peers, and I'm here to try to impart some knowledge to you. But what is your audience? Is it the media? Is it the public? Is it shareholders? Is it your subordinates? Is it employees? Is it general in your company? You got to know who your audience is, because if you don't know who you're speaking to, how do you expect them to listen? They'll pick up on that. They'll know, why is he talking about this? Is he talking, who's he talking to? Understand the audience. How am I at for time? All right, we're doing good. Might even have time for a question. I was worried about the 7 minutes going fast, and she just gave me a 4-minute sign. So now I must slow it up a little bit. Anytime you have crisis communication, you have to stay on point. You know what your message is, right? You're not speaking to this very intricate group of people that are encompassed in this crisis unless you know what your message is. And you cannot speak and expect not to get feedback back. That's not the way it works. Okay, so when you speak, you better be prepared to answer questions. And guess what those questions oftentimes do? Unintentionally and intentionally, when you're dealing with the media, is an attempt to throw you off your point. Okay? So you better make sure you stay on point, you have your message. We used to play this game. early on, I mean, I've been doing this 6 years now, so we don't play it anymore, but we, before there was a press conference, we used 2 minutes. How did it go from 4 to 2 minutes? Wow. So we used to play this game. Pick the headline. We used to try to control what the headline would be, and we would just use the World Herald as a barometer, and the next morning we'd see if we got it right. Guess what? We got it right every time, because we implemented some verbiage into what our message was that was catchy enough, and we knew it would be the headline, and it was, and we felt good for an entire day. Anybody with the media here? World Herald? I really like the World Herald a lot. All right. Last one is timeliness and tone. If you are running a school system and you have a student that tragically gets electrocuted and dies, you can't wait a week. You can't wait 2 days. You got to get something out within the hour. Now maybe you just get out, we had this tragic incident occur, our condolences to the family, we're looking into this, we'll get back to you in a couple days with a more thorough briefing. Maybe that's what you say. Maybe you have a product that was defective and hurt somebody. You got to get that message out now, especially in the day and age of social media. Because I tell you, in my profession, the rumors and things are out there before we can even convene a meeting. That's how quickly it goes. So you got to definitely be timely with it. What we do if there's a crisis is, I'll get a call and I'll assign a deputy chief to the hospital, to the media, to the scene, and then one overseeing things, and I'll just oversee the whole thing. But within that first couple hours, you'll always see that deputy chief give a statement. He or she will say, look, we had this occur. We're going to give you a more formal briefing tomorrow. We have to verify some things, conduct an investigation, remember, because we're never going to lie, even in that initial briefing. We'll never BS anybody. And that's a very important message. And then later on, since we got it out timely, usually that next day we do a full briefing. How am I looking for time? Time is up. I'm going to talk about tone first. Tone is imperative. It really is. Okay, I can smile and I can laugh with this group, and I can apologize because I got to catch a flight when I'm done here, and I wish I could stay because it looks like a fun group. I could be this way now. But if it's a very serious subject and somebody died, you better have a tone that's appropriate for it. Okay, and if an employee is losing their job and it's a crisis, you better have the appropriate tone for it. Okay? If a little girl tragically gets killed in the city of Omaha, I can show empathy, but guess what? I can show some anger too at the assailant. You got to know what your tone is based on knowing who your audience is. All right. Do I get 2 time is up cards? Give me 2. All right. Thank you, everybody.